Hello folks, welcome back to a new week. We are on Monday and I hope you are having a wonderful time. I had an interesting weekend, a bit busy, but there we go. It is what it is. I am knackered, but I slept like a log last night. I mean, that must be the first time I've slept and kind of gone all the way through, like a full 8-9 hours without, like, you know, waking up. I just crashed. 3 days without much sleep will do that to you, man. And I feel much better today. I hope you're doing okay. And if you're not, hopefully I can help you out with, you know, whatever you're feeling with right now, because life's tough. And that's what Hobby Nightmares are here for. That's to help you out. Whether you're cooking your dinner, whether you're on the train home from work, whether you're, you know, desperately trying to work through that last bit of uni work, whatever you're doing, painting your models, whatever you're doing, we're here to make sure you're getting entertained. If you want to be involved in a prize draw, that is taking place on the 3rd of September. That is a week this coming Sunday. So we're on Monday now. So the next Sunday that we see, it'll be a week until our prize draw. All you need to do to be involved in that is to be a member of the Patreon or to be a member of the channel. Either way, you really support the channel financially and you help me out a lot. And I can't thank you enough if you're one of those people who does help out the channel. It means a hell of a lot to me. And the prize draw will be for £100 of free models from Composite Games. Bang. We've just sorted out our last prize draw, that prize stuff that should be on its way this week sometimes to the lucky winners from last time. And there will be a Primaris Repulsor Battle Tank available as well to be won on the day. So that will be a live stream we do on the 3rd of September. And all your stuff will be there for you then. Hopefully you win. This will probably be the best chance you're going to get £100 worth of free models, you know. Anyway, moving onwards. Let's do our first Hobby Nightmare, shall we? The first one of the week. First one of a new week. And do you know what? When I was away, young people say, you know, they love being away from work and all that. I didn't, right? I like being away from school work. I like being away from marking and stuff. That was great. Being away from reading your Hobby Nightmares for a few days, because I was made to not do it. I was told, do not do anything like that when you're here. It's just going to be a family thing, you know, with friends and stuff. You gotta, you know, make sure you're not doing any work. I said okay, and I was just like, oh man, you know, the amount of times I was just sitting there going, I could really read a Hobby Nightmare now. It sucked. But anyway, here we are. Lud says, hey buddy, love the content and what you're trying to do, and successfully as well. Cheers, man. I have a story that I might not call a Hobby Nightmare, but it is a bit difficult of a situation that one might find themselves in. I started the hobby during the strange times of the Nurgle's rot in 2020, as I suddenly had a lot of free time on my social calendar, and a fond memory of the game as a child. I never really had the means to play it back then, but with adulthood comes the benefits, such as disposable income. Yeah, there is a benefit. Anyhow, I got into the game and hobby whilst living in a town in the south of Sweden and found a good group that did most aspects of the hobby on Thursdays. Painting, playing, chatting, etc. In the back rooms of a friendly local game store. 4 full-sized tables, terrain and the works. I got to stay and lock up after hours as well. It was great. That's an ideal situation, dude. Full-sized tables with terrain and stuff. Yeah, you're living the dream. After a while, 2 years, my wife and I moved to a new town because of my work and several other reasons I won't bore you with or your audience. When it was clear that I got the job, I started looking at the new local hobby scene and what was there for me to partake in. To my dismay, it was bone dry and non-existent. After several hours of searching the internet for groups, discords, forums, or anything that may get me in contact with other players, I sort of gave up. I figured that if I want this, I'll have to take matters into my own hands and create the community I want. Yes, you are a Tolkien. You are a Tolkien of the hobby space. J.R.R. Tolkien, he only wrote Lord of the Rings because there was no book like that at the moment, and he wanted to read a book like that. So he made one, and he hoped that other people would, you know, get on board and write similar books that he could then go and read. You're doing the same thing. You're going into a new area, you have a place where you want to do the hobby, It's not there yet, so you create one, and you do it exactly the way that you want to do it. Look at it as an opportunity. Whenever you move to a new place and there's no hobby stuff there, look at it as a big opportunity to work in and shape the hobby space exactly the way that you want it. Wonderful stuff. I started a Discord channel, promoted it shamelessly in other miniatures groups, the National Warhammer 40k group and such. The happy story is, it worked. I'm currently holding about 100 members. I got in contact with the gaming group, mainly board games and such, but by happenstance, after a guy posted an advert wanting to buy Thunderhammers in this new town. Having played Grey Knights as my army, I had a bunch laying around and said he could have them all for if he just paid the postage fee. We got to talking and he got me in contact with the group. After a while, I convinced them to give me Wednesdays to play tabletop games. Now, we play every Wednesday and almost have at least 3 tables going with 2,000 points. Yay, dude, man, you've created an actual place. Round of applause for you, dude. Spreading the hobby, spreading the love, getting it out there. Good lad. Now comes the issue. After playing many opponents and having a great time, mostly, I came across a player that we can call John. Not that a name matters, but maybe it can help people relate for some reason. John was a nice enough guy and didn't cheat. He didn't behave in an inappropriate manner, smell bad, or anything like that. The thing that got on my nerves, and a bunch of others as well, was that the games were extremely slow because of his mannerisms and explaining everything. And I mean everything to the extreme. A 2,000 point game took easily 6 hours on an average day. No, mate. No. No. You're literally... I very rarely say this. You're literally playing the game wrong. like 6 hours for a 2,000 point game. You either don't know your rules, which is fine. It's fine, you're learning, that's fine. Your games will speed up. Or you're willfully trying to win wars of attrition against your opponents by explaining every tiny thing that's in the game. The game isn't meant to be taken that seriously. Even tournament players would walk away from a player like this, because they would take up all of your time at the tournament, and you can't afford that, so you'd walk away. So even the saltiest, gamiest players in our hobby would walk away from a guy like this. 6 hours is punishment, not a game. You'd ask a simple question of the stunning caliber, like, what's their save? And you'd get a 2 to 5 minute answer. What it is, how that is the case, and the law as to how that is, and how it compares to other units. Dude, just stop him. Say, no. Just tell me what the fucking save is. I don't need your life story. Just tell me what the save is, right? Eventually, after a few games, I couldn't take it anymore. Dude, you got far more patience than I do. I'm always astonished by the patience people have in these stories. Eventually, after a few games, I couldn't take it anymore. John just sucked the fun out of the game for me, just making me feel like getting it over with and going home, no matter the outcome of the battle. After a while of keeping my fingers crossed when asking for a fight on Discord and matchmaking with others, the moment I sort of dreaded came. John said he'd play with me. I didn't really know how to handle the situation, as I really didn't want to play him again, possibly ever, if no change was ever made to his behaviour. I eventually came to the conclusion that honesty is the best policy, and answered him, not verbatim, as it was quite a while ago, but along the lines and tone of, and I quote, "I'm sorry, John, I was hoping for another opponent, as I don't really enjoy the games that we've had." He answered in short, "Okay." Okay, fair enough. But immediately he DM'd me. Oh my god, you did that in public? So you didn't DM him, you did that in public? My god, dude. My god, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Just have a man to man, have a heart to heart elsewhere. Don't do it in public. Oh, no. He immediately DM'd me, Not surprising, and frankly, good for the community not having a go in public. If I'd have another go at it, I'd probably DM him first and say that, but it's too late for second thoughts now. So basically, right, I know English isn't your first language. What you're saying is it's good that he didn't go into you for chewing him out in public. Okay, alright, okay, that's fine. And yeah, it's too late for second chances now. You've already put it out there. He took the whole thing well, and was just a bit angry that I'd said it in public. Mate, he's got a point. He's got a point. He is playing the game wrong, and he's sapping away your energy of playing the game. But he does have a point here. He's got a point. You shouldn't have done that in public. This is the kind of thing where you take him aside, and you have a man-to-man, and you're very nice with him. You say, listen, man, these are the things that I'm not really gelling with when we play. But if you sorted those out, I'd love to play you, because, quite frankly, I think you're a cool guy. I think you're awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to play a game with the John that I know, right? You're cool. But it's just the way that you play the game doesn't really gel with my playstyle. I like to get a game over with in like 2 hours, you know? Because that's generally how I think the game should be played. But yeah, we're at opposite ends of the spectrum on that. But if you ever came down more to my side, I'd love to play you. You're a decent bloke, you know? If you put it like that, the dude's going to go, do you know what? I actually want to play a shorter game now. Just to kind of see what this guy is, if he's got a point here. You know, he might have a point. You catch more flies with honey than with bile, right? And you're putting that out in public. Oh, no, man. Like that's a faux pas for me. I understand why you did it. It's a slip of concentration, you know? And you're right in what you said. It's just where you said it is the problem. So, we had an argument in the DMs where I stated my issues and reasons where we left on pretty good terms. We agreed to delete our small dispute on the public Discord and not to have it hang there. Dying for everyone to view. Okay, drying for everyone to view. That's fine, okay. He felt it was unfair of me, remember, I'm the admin and the founder of the community, to say it outright in the matchmaking channel. Yeah, dude, that also, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're in charge of this place. You are the custodian. And if the custodian says, this guy's not fun to play, that guy's not getting any games. That's it. I didn't think so, as I was being honest and forthright. Also, voicing a good few other members' grievances with this player. Looking back, yeah, it may have been a bit too harsh, but it made him stop in his tracks and reconsider his behaviour, as many who have played him since have stated that they have had no issues with him. Am I an asshole, or was this a reasonable action? Thank you and keep up the good work. Best regards, L. So, here's the thing, man. What you said was fine. It's just where you said it. And the fact that you need to realise that when you start, you did really, really well in creating this new community, and that's brilliant. But you need to realise with great power comes great responsibility. If you say to people, this guy isn't fun to play, that's it. He's tarred with that brush forever. That's it. That's done, right? So you need to make sure that you're really, really, really making sure that you are out there and acting in good faith. You message this person one-to-one in good faith. You save the conversation in case he accuses you of anything, but you message him in good faith, and you say, listen, man, before you reply to him in the public chat, say, listen, here's how I feel, and say exactly what I said before. You compliment him if he's a nice guy, but you say, look, our play styles don't mesh. And that's what it is. I'd love to play you if X, Y, Z changed. And you move on, right? But you say, for now, do you mind, like, deleting that request for a game on there, because yeah, it makes you look bad. You know, I don't want to seem like, you know, I don't want to play you and stuff, right? But, as you just said, it has resulted in results, from want of a better word. So, I guess you can ignore me. But that's what I would have done anyway. Don't do it in public. With great power comes great responsibility and all that. Anyway, Cloveland says, hey North, this is kind of a response to an earlier video. I think it was Thursday last week, and the great manager Games Workshop lost there. Yeah, I remember, yes. It was a manager who left Games Workshop because he was getting pounded, not in a nice way. Well, I wanted to talk about the kind of absolute creature the company wants to replace them with. Ah, okay, so this is somebody, you're gonna discuss somebody who came into a Games Workshop store after a good manager left, am I right? How about I just read the fucking story and stop acting like a dick? I work for a recruitment agency that deals with almost exclusively geeky content. Essentially, if you want to work for a gaming studio, We are the kind of people you go for, and let me tell you, our retail side of the business is booming thanks to Games Workshop completely jettisoning most of their passionate workers. What do they replace them with? Drones. More specifically, drones like Jason. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. When I first encountered Jason, he struck me as arrogant, dismissive, and quite frankly, rude. I was immediately put off by how he was. He had this look, quote unquote, as if he would just look down his nose at you and squint his eyes as if he is judging your worth, or he is immediately skeptical about what you have just said, even if you just told him that the sky is fucking blue. It's draining and is an attitude that I walk away from when I can. Right, I'm going to stop there for just a second. My manager at Games Workshop was exactly the same. Exactly the same. If he was in a good mood, he'd be fine. He'd get on with his day and it wouldn't be too bad. If he was in a bad mood or in a normal mood, let's say, he would always act like you were lying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he would always act like you could literally say, that shelf is dusted, because it is, because you've just dusted it. He will look down his nose at you as if you are there trying to tell him that, you know, the puppy that is dead in front of you is you didn't kill it even though you got a bloody knife in your hand, right? That's the kind of attitude he's looking at you with. It's just draining. It's, as you just said there, it's draining, it's not nice, and it's shitty. Don't do it. Carrying on. So, when I say that this guy taking over my local Games Workshop was a bad thing, that is an understatement. Our previous manager was Ryan. A lovely bloke. Really into getting the customer what they wanted, and whilst he allowed games in the store, he let us know that Games Workshop corporately were not really big on gaming in stores, and so we needed to keep it on the down low. The store did pretty well. It was always pretty full, even in the middle of a working week. That is the... If you want to know whether your Games Workshop is successful, guys, go to your Games Workshop in the middle of the week, or on a random Monday or Tuesday afternoon, and if it's got people in there, your store's doing well. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 people. If 7 or 8 people are there, your store's doing well, right? The store did well. It was always pretty full, even in the middle of the working week, and we had fun each and every day. You got the sense that Ryan couldn't believe his luck that he was doing this for a living, working within his hobby. But the demands of running a small store eventually caught up to him. Demands from on high, financial targets his store had no real business chasing, and other issues all caused him to finally leave the company. We were friends by the time he left, and spoke about this quite a lot. I was not happy with him leaving, but I had a hand, or at least my company did, with getting him a new management job at another large UK retailer when it comes to wargaming, and he's doing quite well. I know a lot of Games Workshop people go to Element Games and people like that, so hopefully he's doing well. We were waiting with bated breath for the arrival of the new manager. The support staffer ran the store in the meantime, whilst Games Workshop sourced one, and when the morning came for him to come in, he was due to arrive at around 11 AM. When he got there, he had a pair of sunglasses on, like he'd just jumped out of a fighter jet or something, pointed to the lads sitting at the painting table and reading their newly bought White Dwarf magazines, and said, and I quote, "You two, up. That table is for painting only, and needs to be booked for further use." No one else in the store wanted to paint at the time. It was half-term school holidays, and these lads were 12-year-old lads at most. Yeah, I had a sinking feeling about this new manager straight away. Shit. Oh my god. Needless to say, things went on... Sorry. Needless to say, as things went on, they only really got worse. Let me regale you with some of the greatest hits of this manager who killed all the love in his new store. Oh no. Oh my god, there's 4 of them and they're all complete paragraphs. Okay. Number 1. Jesus. Oh, no. Alright, number 1. Oh, no. Hope you're ready for this. Put down your meal if you're eating it. It's not sick, but, you know. You may splurge in sheer rage. Number 1. He demanded that correct pronouns be used in the store and that people wear stickers. Oh, yeah. Small circular ones. Blue stickers for he's, red stickers for hers, and green stickers for they's. As he said, this would foster a better environment and understanding within the store. Needless to say, when it turned out he had 98% blue stickers and 2% red stickers in his store, he was not very happy. He complained to us that he wanted the store to be more inclusive, but couldn't do that with the place, and I quote, overrun with white, middle-aged, neckbeard dudes, and unquote. Charming. Dude, yeah, that's a good way to run your store. Immediately go in and alienate all the people who are buying your stuff. Brilliant stuff. Well done to you. Well done to you. Remember in the early days of early access of Baldur's Gate 3 when Larian Entertainment said, hey, we're a bit disappointed that you guys are making so many, you know, middle-aged, normal-looking white guys in our character creator. You can make whatever you want, right? They immediately realized what a shit take that was when most of their player base resembled those people that they're mocking. They deleted those things from social media, they issued an apology, and they walked it back. They realized what was going on, and that game is sounding like fucking hotcakes right now, by the way. Alright, cool. This is how to kill a store 101. If you wanted if you wanted to get a stick of dynamite and throw it into a store, you would do a much of the same job of ruining that store as doing what this guy just did. Bringing in an Orwellian fucking horrid practice. You must all wear stickers like we're in, you know, 1940s Germany. You must all wear stickers so we know exactly what you are. Go fuck yourself. What a piece of shit. That's awful. That's absolutely deplorable. Jesus. How did this guy have a store after doing that? There's 3 more things here. How did he even have a store after doing that? This is what I mean. You know when people say that neckbeards and hobbyists and all this other stuff, that they don't have any patience or like they're always whining? We've got the most patience in the world. This guy did this and his store was still open. People were still going in. Number 2. All games in the store were immediately banned. Fucking hell. And as he had to turn away person after person, he took it very personally that people wanted to play games in his store. Yeah, shock horror. People want to play with the models they just bought in your store. Fucking douche nozzle. He was more and more abrupt with his nose to those kinds of questions that it got to the stage that he would respond to gaming questions with a simple angry look. Even if you've never met the guy before. Oh my god, can you imagine? Hey man, can I book a table to play a game on Tuesday? Alright, bye. The only games in the store were introduction games. Games that were very poorly run and moved at a snail's pace because Jason didn't really know the rules or care about the game he was teaching. He was a salesman and was proud to tell you that. Yeah, dude, that's why he's got the job. That's why he's got a job. He's a salesman. Doesn't give a shit about Warhammer. He's a salesman. 3. All painting sessions were limited to 2 slots a day at 30 minutes a day. Oh my god. That's right. He wanted you to paint for 1 hour and then get the fuck out of his store. And he would enforce this at times by spraying you and your models with water from a duster can. I'm speechless. I'm utterly speechless. Utterly speechless. I don't know what to say. I do not know. How did this guy not get a Wraith Knight shoved squarely up his fucking arse? Seriously, if I'm sitting there painting and I've just glued a model together or painted a model and I'm waiting for it to dry, and somebody comes and sprays it with a water bottle saying you need to leave now. Oh no, dude. I would lose my shit. I would absolutely lose my shit. He did this playfully at first, but the malice behind it was not lost on any of us. It was beyond annoying, and then there was one customer, Mark, a taekwondo expert by the way, who took great offence to his newly painted models, Black Templars, being sprayed with water. As you know, undercoating in black and then spraying water on it isn't really the best thing to do for undercoated models, especially freshly undercoated ones. He told Jason that if he ever did that again, he would shove, and I quote, that spray bottle right up your fucking arse, mate. He was banned from the store indefinitely, and when he complained to Games Workshop, they told him they would talk to Jason, but nothing ever came of it. Yeah, of course not. That happened in my store as well. So the store I was working at, not running, the customers there, a beautiful dude by the name of the Demonettes. They were lovely guys. You know who you are. I know some of you watch the videos. You're top blokes. They would complain all the time to Games Workshop HQ and say, this guy's fucking ruining our hobby. Like, literally, we don't want to come here anymore. We don't have anywhere else to go, but as soon as we do, we're going there. Because this is bullshit, right? Those guys did that, and nothing ever changed. He just got worse. Nothing ever changed. So a lot of them did leave in the end. But anyway, moving on. Number 4. Jason would follow you around the shop if you were a regular, asking you inane questions about your hobby as if he'd never met you before, despite you being there the day before to pick up some paints, and the day before that, and the day before that. It was a passive-aggressive way of him doing a few things, so he said when I queried him about it. 1. He was training his corporate Games Workshop sales pitch on you. Number 2, he was letting you know he knew you were there every day and was making a note of it. Number 3, he was letting you know what the status quo was of the store by asking you marketing questions each time he saw you without fail. Essentially, saying the store was for selling only and you mattered very little to him, hence him not remembering you from the day before. Even when he obviously does remember you and he is just being an ass for effect. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. This is a piece of shit. Right? I often speak about the manager I worked for not being great. This guy's worse. Way worse. Absolutely way worse. Needless to say, and I bet you will be shocked, his store tanked. Big time. For once, Games Workshop were not rewarded for their bad behaviour with yet more sales. Instead, people just stopped coming to the store, and it actually founded or caused the founding of the ACAH gaming club down the road. In brackets, the anti-corporate asshat gaming club that met 3 nights a week in the back room of a local gaming cafe. Lovely place. We ended up spilling out into the main area, and we kept using that area as a painting area and ensuring that everybody who went in got some cake and a coffee or tea to say thank you for using the place. We also made sure that we kept our numbers in the main store area low because we wanted other customers to go in and be able to play their board games without us taking over the store entirely. It was a large place and still is. In fact, the influx of new custom has led to the coffee shop to open up a new venue dedicated solely to nerds, which is awesome. Jason was given another store at Games Workshop. Yeah, I know, I was shocked too. I have to read that again. Jason was given another store at Games Workshop. My giddy aunt. Jesus Christ. They never fucking learn, do they? The new guy who came to our local store was kind of a mix between Jason and Ryan, our original manager. He towed the corporate line, sure, but was not a complete dick about it. Whenever I walk past the Warhammer store, as it is now after a rebranding, however, it looks completely empty, even on the weekends, and the new manager can be seen twiddling his thumbs at the cash register, waiting for somebody to save him from his loneliness. The desolation of post-Jason. From successful store to ghost town. Fucking brilliant. Top banana. Love you, Cleveland. Jesus, man. That is the death of a store. That is the death of a... So we got a normal Warhammer store there, or Games Workshop store as it was. This guy arrives, tanks it. It then goes to another normal manager who can't resuscitate it because normal managers do not have the drive of Orion. Orion would turn this around. I hesitate to say a North would turn this around. Right? I hesitate to say that because I wasn't a great manager. I was a normal guy who was just running a Games Workshop. But guys like this, like this Ryan guy, would turn this shit around in a hurry through sheer passion and will. Right? Through sheer passion and absolute determination and hard work. But a normal manager who you send in to keep the wheels ticking over can't turn this around, and so he sits in the ghost town that fucking Jason created and just sits there. Miserable. And that store will not be long for this world, let me tell you. It is heavily subsidised by other stores that are doing well. Unfortunate. I love you all long time. I will speak to you tomorrow. I have a full week ahead planned of really cool videos. We have some amazing hobby nightmares coming up. Please keep sending them in. I have a full mailbox, but if you send your thing in, it will be read out over the next few weeks. This is awesome. I'm starting to get some really good ones in, which is great. We've got some really good rants planned for this week. So I love you all long time. I will speak to you tomorrow for another hobby rant. See you then. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.